my name's Liz, I'm the baker that sews. Welcome to my channel if you're new and welcome back if you're a subscriber. As always, it's really lovely to have you here as I share my sewing journey. So today's video is going to be another episode of my Sunday sewing catch up and we are on episode 12, and as always I've got a whole range of things that I'd like to share with you. I have got my notebook because I don't have all of the images and patterns to hand for things that I'm going to talk about, but where possible I'll put images in, and I will always link everything down below in the description so you can go and check them out for yourself too. So most of the things that I've got in this video are sewing related, so it's fabrics or patterns, things that I've been making and things that I'm planning to sew up too. So before we get started on today's episode, I'll let you know what I'm wearing. And I'm wearing one of my favourite makes from a few months ago, and that is the Tilly and the Buttons Lara shirt dress. So it's one of their patterns that came out in the extended size range. I will link it down below and I'll put in line drawings now so you can see what it looks like. But there are various options. There's options for different sleeve lengths, there's options for different skirt lengths too. So this is made in a cotton poplin that I got from Studio Jepson's, the lovely Faye, and she's just, I think she announced a few days ago that there's more of this fabric in stock because I know that they sold out. It's absolutely gorgeous. I love the colours in this fabric. And then I've got Ethel and Joan, I don't know if you're going to be able to see, but Ethel and Joan, I think they're called Dalmatian buttons that came in a Sew Hayley Jane box. I'm going to be filming my latest Sew Hayley Jane unboxing soon, so that video will come out in a couple of days, so do watch out for that. But yeah, they came in a box and I thought they matched perfectly because this marble effect has got some black in there and it's also got some white, so I just thought it was perfect. This is the knee length version, so if I stand up you'll be able to see. So it sits just above my knees, and then I did put in pockets, and then with this one I just added a little waist tie just to bring in the shape of the dress because it is meant to be quite loose and floaty. I will put pictures in of me wearing it so you can see what it looks like, but that's what I'm wearing. And if there's any left of this fabric I'll link it down below too because it is absolutely beautiful fabric, perfect to sew with too, really behaves itself because it's a cotton poplin. So that's what I'm wearing. So today I've got loads of different things that I wanted to share with you. So I have been buying some fabric, there's a pattern that I've got my eye on, there's a new ebook that's come out that I'd like to talk to you about, and lots of other things too. So let's get started. The first thing to say is something that you won't have noticed at all. In fact, when I was choosing these new glasses, my husband was laughing at me because they're virtually identical to my previous frames. But we both went and got our eyes tested 2 weeks ago now, I think. So I get my eyes tested every 2 years. And my prescription had changed ever so slightly, so I needed to choose some new frames. So my husband normally goes for half frames and normally quite a neutral colour, so normally like silver or something that's quite plain, but this time around he went for something quite drastically different, so a really dark full frame. So it's really obvious that he got new glasses. I went for a frame that is almost identical to my previous glasses, only this frame is slightly rounder. If I take them off, the actual frame is slightly thicker, and my old glasses were a tortoiseshell, which is similar to these, but these have got a bit of blue in them. I don't know if you can see that, but anyway, he wore his to work and everybody said he looked really young, much younger than he does. I wore them to work, not a single person noticed, and I'm sure you don't notice either, but I just wanted to share that because I thought it was quite funny. I know what I like and I know what suits me, so I just went with something quite similar. But anyway, they're really comfortable, and I can see I was getting headaches from my previous prescription, which is one of the reasons that prompted me to go and get my eyes checked. So if you do wear glasses, this is your reminder to go and get your eyes tested, especially if you're noticing any changes. I'm usually quite good at keeping up with my regular sort of checkups and things, but yes, I was getting headaches, and that explained why I needed to get a new prescription, and touch wood, I haven't been getting the headaches since I changed my prescription over. So I can't remember if it was my last video or the video before, somebody commented saying that you're a mum, that you work full time, how do you manage to fit in your sewing? And I've talked about this before. I think I talked about this in my Q&A video that I did a few months back, and I'll link down below if you haven't checked that out. I recognise, and my husband and my girls actually both recognise, that hobbies are really important, not just for me, but my husband's got his hobbies, and both Ruby and Lola have got things that they love to do too. Now they're both getting towards becoming teenagers. Their main hobby is going out with their friends. I recognise that my job is really stressful, it's really busy. I end up working really long hours when term time is on. And quite often there's still tons to do when I leave work. Normally leave work about 6 o'clock. And then by the time I get home, cook dinner and things, it's about 7:30 by the time all of that's done. And I could continue working, but I know that I would just completely burn myself out. And last year during the pandemic, and actually the academic year before that, I was getting very close to burnout. And I think that's just because I knew that I had tons and tons of stuff that I needed to do. And, you know, I like to make sure that my work is completely done wherever possible. So I make sure, and I make a really conscious effort to fit in sewing across my week. That might be 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there. It might not necessarily be jumping onto my machine and actually doing some physical sewing. It might be 10-15 minutes of tracing a pattern or cutting out some fabric. It might be rethreading my machine or cleaning it, or just something related to my hobby, because I know that when I've done a little bit of sewing, it helps me to sort of completely switch off from everything, and it also helps me to relax. So that's one way that I managed to squeeze in some sewing into my week. I also like to batch cut, and I know that that's not for everybody, but I know that that works really well for me. So I plan what I think I'd like to sew for the week or the next couple of weeks, and I'll spend a couple of hours over the weekend cutting out some projects whilst my girls are doing whatever it is that they like to do, or my husband's doing whatever he likes to do. So I tend to sort of plan into my weeks some time where I'm going to cut out projects. And that just means that I've always got something to grab. I've always got something that I can start sewing, because I don't know about you, but it's my least favourite aspect of sewing. I don't really enjoy the cutting out part. So I like to batch cut out, and then I pop them all in little folders that I've got with the pattern ready to go. And then before I finish my sewing, so say I've set myself like 15-minute timer to do a little bit of sewing, or half an hour. I know that I've got half an hour. Once I've finished that half an hour, I will tidy up my sewing space just to make sure that when I go back to my sewing machine or my sewing space, it's ready for the next time I get some, for the next time I get an opportunity to do some sewing, so that I don't have to faff around tidying up. I can just get on with the sewing or whatever it is that I want to do in that space. So that's another top tip. The other thing, which is absolutely nothing to do with sewing, but it's something that our family have recently discovered, is like the food recipe boxes. So we use Gusto, and I really like Gusto boxes because you can pause the subscription. It's not like a subscription service. Like, I know there's other services that you can use where you are sort of bound into almost like a contract where you've got to do a certain number of months. With the Gusto boxes, you can pause it, and we've just started using them the last couple of weeks, and it has been an absolute game changer for me. I'm the one that does most of the cooking in our family. I love cooking. I love cooking just as much as I love sewing, and I love baking too. But what I find, especially when it's term time, is my brain is so exhausted from the working day. My husband's a teacher too, so he feels the same, that sometimes I can be like a rabbit in headlights thinking about what to have for dinner. But I found the Gusto boxes are great because you choose however many meals you want. We've got 4 meals a week, and we find that that's enough because we tend to treat ourselves to fish and chips or something on a Friday where we don't have to cook. And it just means that I know I've got everything I need for that recipe. My girls have both really loved helping me cook the recipes. We've got a little recipe card, and you get exactly the right amount of what you need for that recipe. And the other thing that I really love is there's no waste whatsoever. So we get a box for 4 because we're a family of 4, and the food is the perfect portion for myself, my husband, and then Ruby and Lola. So that's another way that I manage to fit in sort of my hobbies during the week, particularly the sewing. So I just thought I'd let you know those are some of my tips for how I manage to squeeze in sewing across my week. Some weeks I'll sew more than others, and what I also tend to do is Friday night, if I'm not going out, I'll do a couple of hours of sewing, and then the same for either a Saturday or a Sunday. So I won't spend the whole weekend sewing, but I will make sure that across the weekend I get a couple of hours of sewing time too. And I'm also quite focused when I'm sewing, so I don't tend to get distracted. I'll put on the radio, or I'll listen to a podcast, or I'll have a vlog in the background, and I get immersed in my sewing, and I'm usually quite focused on that time, because then once I've had that time, I know that then I've got, you know, we're either going out as a family, or I need to start cooking dinner, or get the uniforms ready for the week, or whatever it is that I need to do. And I think it also helps that my husband is also a teacher, so we work quite similar hours. So I think because we have quite similar working days, we both appreciate and understand that we each need our own time and our own space to do our hobbies, so that we can sort of chill out and relax from the busyness of the day. Plus, I am someone that likes to be busy, and I'm a bit of a night owl too, I must say. I don't like getting up in the morning, but I could stay up quite easily until 1, 2 in the morning. So I hope that helps, and I hope that answers the questions too. So I have got some buttons to share with you now, so I'm just going to grab the envelope. I have been sent some buttons by the lovely Louise, who runs Ethel & Joan. She sent me lovely little sort of sneak peek of some buttons that are coming out, and they're coming out towards the end of this month. And they're sort of celebration themes, so sparkly, glittery, and just really fun. These were sent to me with no obligation to share. I use Louise's buttons in lots and lots of my makes. I mean, this dress is a prime example, and I've got lots of her buttons in my stash. So it was really kind of Louise to get in touch to see if I would like a little sneak peek of some of the buttons that are coming out. And I'm definitely going to be buying some more when they get released at the end of the month. So these are the first ones. It's going to be quite difficult to share because they're on a white card, but they're sort of clear. If I can see images, because I know that Louise has started to share pictures of the buttons that are coming out, I'll see if I can insert a better picture. But these are clear, and then they've got like white splodges within them, so they're going to look really cute on either a shirt. I'm sewing up a shirt at the moment, actually, a blouse, so these might work really well for that blouse. And then I've got these ones which have got like a bronzy gold sort of glittery, oh, and they've got silver in as well, actually. I think they've got gold, bronze and silver sort of glitter in. They're really pretty, and they're absolutely beautiful. These ones I think will go better in the blouse that I'm sewing up at the moment, but they're absolutely gorgeous. And I'm really excited about this range of buttons that's coming out. There are so many beautiful varied sizes of buttons actually that Ethel & Joan stock. So I'll link them down below so you can go and check them out. But thank you so much for those buttons, Louise. I'm very, very excited about your latest collection. And I think there's buckles coming too, because I know that Ethel & Joan stock belt buckles. So there's some buckles that are going to be coming out in that latest collection too. But these are just so fun. I love how sparkly and glittery they are, and they're super cute. And yeah, I've got lots and lots of their buttons in my stash too. There's some rainbow ones which are quite big, which I really love too. Lots of rainbow speckles in too. And they're handcrafted, which is just amazing. Quite often Louise will share little snippets of behind the scenes of her making her buttons, and I just think it's a really fascinating process too. So if you don't follow Ethel & Joan, I would definitely recommend going and giving them a little follow over on Instagram, and I'll link them down below for you. So what have I been sewing this week? I've been sewing a couple of things. Sadly, there's one thing that I've been sewing that I can't share with you yet, but there's a blog post coming out over on Felicity Fabrics next week, so do watch out for that. All of the Felicity Fabrics bloggers have all been set a challenge to sew up a dress. So we were allowed to choose some fabric from their website, and we could decide what dress we wanted to sew up. And then we were sent a piece of ribbon that we needed to include in our finished garment. So I have finished my dress. And I'm going to send off the blog later on today. I'm just waiting. Well, I say I've finished something. I've finished it. I'm actually waiting for one thing that I need to finish it off. Most of the dress is constructed. It was an error on my part that I forgot to order something that was pretty much an essential for my dress, and it will make sense next week. In next week's Sunday Sewing Catch Up, I'll share what it is that I was waiting for. I'll show you the fabric because it's coming out on Tuesday, so that shouldn't be too much of a sort of giveaway. But I chose this gorgeous baby pink corduroy. It's absolutely beautiful. I've still got a little chunk left, and I'm considering turning the leftover fabric into a pair of shorts, although I haven't made shorts with corduroy and I would worry about chafing. So if you've made shorts with corduroy, please let me know, or if you think it's a bad idea, also let me know, because I'd love to know. I don't want to spend ages cutting it out and sewing them up if you think that it would cause chafing on my legs. So that's the fabric. So I've got that finished this week, but then I've also, I said in the last Sunday Sewing Catch Up that I was going to sew up my Camden skirt in a blue needle cord, also from Felicity Fabrics. I bought that fabric as part of a bundle, and then I was also using the same fabrics from that bundle to make the sagebrush top, which I finished, and then also using the cotton to line the Camden skirt. And I'm really pleased. I've finished both garments and I've used all 3 fabrics, and it's come together exactly how I imagined, so I'm really excited about this. So I'll show you. I'll also put pictures in of me wearing the garments together, but this is the skirt. So it's just a really simple sort of fitted mini skirt almost, although it's not mini skirt because it stops at my knees. It's got the gorgeous pockets that are top stitched onto the front. I decided with the waistband to do the waistband corduroy on the outside, but then use the same lining fabric on the inside, and I'm really pleased that I did, because it gives a really gorgeous finish on the inside of the dress too. So it is fully lined, and the pockets, I've also used the same lining fabric for the inside as the pockets, so I feel like it really matches. And then it's got an invisible zip down the centre back too. This is going to be a great skirt for my autumn winter wardrobe. I can just see myself wearing this with some really chunky tights, some chunky boots, and then a nice cozy jumper. I think that's going to be a really lovely thing to wear in the autumn and winter. So that was the first one. I don't actually have the line drawings of the Camden skirt pattern with me, but I'll put pictures in of what the Camden skirt and pinafore looks like. So it's a pattern by Nina Lee. I love Nina Lee's patterns, and she's currently working her way through all of the patterns to bring them out in the extended size range. So the most recent one that came out was the Bakerloo blouse and dress, and that has come out in the extended size range, which is great. So the Camden pattern is a pinafore and a skirt. It's fully lined, so the pinafore's fully lined and the skirt's fully lined. The pinafore has got this V neckline, and then it's got the pockets that are stitched onto the front too, and the same style of skirt as this one. It comes in sizes UK 6 to UK 20. So for a UK 6, it's a bust measurement of 32 inches, a waist measurement of 24 inches, and a hip measurement of 33.5 inches. And then for a 20, it's a 46-inch bust, 38-inch waist, and a 47.5 inch hip measurement. As I said, it's fully lined. The bodice has got, not the bodice, the pinafore, the bodice of the pinafore is what I meant to say, has got princess seams, which is really lovely, gives a really nice finish. And then they recommend medium weight fabrics like a denim, a lightweight wool, corduroy, velvet, and then you also need a lining fabric. So this is what the inside of the skirt looks like, fully lined, and then that's what the outside of the skirt looks like. I'll stand up and sort of hold it up against me so you can see. But yeah, it goes to your waist, and then it sort of just stops. I haven't got it on, but it stops just at my knee. It's a really gorgeous shape, really, really enjoyable sew, and that's where the pockets are too. Really deep pockets as well, and I just love that you get that little peep of the fabric from the inside. And then in my head, when I was sewing this up, I imagined being able to wear the sagebrush top with it, because when I bought the 3 fabrics as a bundle, they all came together. So you've got that gorgeous flowery cotton, and then the navy corduroy, and then you've got this blue, not blue, the corduroy's blue, and then you've got this pink cotton dobby fabric too. And I just imagined the skirt with this gorgeous sagebrush, and I feel like the colours just go so nicely together, and I'm really pleased. I think I've got a gorgeous outfit now for the autumn, and I can just layer it up with a cardigan. So I use this beautiful cotton dobby to sew up the sagebrush. I absolutely love the sagebrush top. I love the poofy sleeves, and then it's got elastic here, which is really comfortable. The neckline is finished with bias binding, and you can use the same fabric that you use for your blouse, and then it just fastens into this gorgeous little bow on the back. And then you've got this gorgeous yoke detail on the back. You've got yoke detail on the front, and then you sandwich this gorgeous little ruffle. I keep saying the word gorgeous, but that's because I just absolutely love this blouse. And then you've got this really pretty little ruffle across the front with those really pretty voluminous sleeves, and they're short sleeves for this version. And then it is quite a long top, so it's perfect for tucking into things too. And this fabric is just so pretty. It's not a colour that I would sew with very often, but actually I'm really drawn to this shade of pink at the moment. I'm not quite sure why, but I'm just really enjoying making things out of this colour fabric. And I love that dobby effect as well, ever so slightly textured. It's really pretty. So I used a pattern that is tried and tested for me. I've made quite a few versions of the sagebrush. It is a pattern by Friday Pattern Company. So this is what it looks like on the model. Really beautiful poofy sleeves, and then that gorgeous ruffle, and then you get sort of gathers underneath the ruffle too, which gives a really lovely shape. And here are the line drawings. It's got a really deep hem as well. It's just got some really pretty features that just make it something really special. So they describe the sagebrush top as an elegant and easy to sew blouse that is a joy to make and a joy to wear, and it really is. It feels really lightweight in that cotton dobby fabric. It's designed for woven fabrics and looks great in breezy fabrics like cotton voile, as well as more structured fabrics like a crisp linen. I've actually made it in a poplin, and it works really well in a poplin, and also a cotton lawn. It works really well in that too. The simple design of the top lends itself well to customisation, and the sagebrush looks great tucked into something high-waisted, which is what the Camden skirt is. So I think they're going to go really nicely together. It's designed for woven fabrics, and they recommend like a cotton voile, a rayon challis, a linen that isn't too heavy, silk and cotton shirting. And if you choose a fabric that's really drapey, then the lovely simple lines of that will suit the drapiness of the fabric. But if you choose something that's got more structure, then you get these really big voluminous sleeves too. You also need some elastic for the cuff of the sleeve. And then it comes in sizes extra small to 7X. So for an extra small, it's a bust measurement of 32 to 33 inches, a waist measurement of 24 to 25 inches, and then a hip measurement of 34 to 35 inches. And then for a 7X, it's 59 to 60 inch bust, 52 to 53 inch waist, and then a 62 to 63 inch hip. I absolutely love the sagebrush. I've seen so many beautiful versions of this blouse over on Instagram, and I'm really pleased with how both of the garments turned out this week. They were really fun to sew, and I think because I've sewn the sagebrush quite a few times, to me it felt like quite a simple sew because I understand the construction of the pattern really well. So that's a couple of garments that are going to add to my autumn winter wardrobe, and I may just need to layer up the sagebrush either with a long sleeve top underneath or a cardigan. And then, oh, I made the bobby skirt. So I had a look. I have got, don't know about you, but I have got a box of work in progress projects that have either been cut out for a while, or I've half sewn, and then for whatever reason it might be that I was waiting for a zip to arrive, or I was waiting for some buttons, or I just changed my mind, or the seasons changed and I just didn't get round to sewing them up. That is very true of this bobby pinafore. I must have cut this out last year. It's been so long I can't even remember where I got this fabric from. If I remember, I'll put in a little image of saying where I got it from. But it's this gorgeous, again, pink needle cord, and it's got these crowns all over it. I just think it's so fun. And I decided with this fabric, it must have been about a year ago, to sew up the Tilly and the Buttons bobby skirt. So this is a pinafore and skirt pattern. And I'm really thinking about skirts recently, which is unusual for me because I don't often wear skirts. So I've sewn up the pinafore before in a couple of corduroy fabrics. And I know a denim fabric and a corduroy fabric, and I wear them all the time. They're really, really comfortable. They've got some really cute details. Oh, I've got a thread there. So this is the pinafore. So it's fully, the bib is fully lined, and then it's buttoned from the top all the way to the bottom of the skirt. And then it's got these almost like, I guess the sort of like patch pockets that are stitched onto the hip section, and they're really deep. So similar to the Camden actually. The difference between the bobby is it's buttoned down, and the Camden has got an invisible zip at the centre back. And then it's got this gorgeous crossover detail here, and then there's an option to put patch pockets on the back. For my skirt, I didn't put patch pockets on the back. I thought the hip pockets would be enough. I would never use the patch pockets on the back, if I'm honest. It would just become a design feature. And then this is what the skirt looks like, and then there's the option for belt loops. Again, I didn't put belt loops on because I don't really wear belts, so I just wouldn't have used them really, and again it would have just become a design feature. So the bobby pinafore and skirt comes in sizes UK 6 to UK 24. For UK 6 it's 30 inch bust, 24 inch waist and a 33 inch hip, and then for a UK 24 it's a 48 inch bust, 42 inch waist and 51 inch hip. In terms of fabric suggestions, they recommend medium to heavyweight woven fabrics that hold their shape, like a denim, a corduroy, cotton canvas, drill, gobeline, I think I'm saying that correctly, and then brackets it says tapestry, or velvet. Now this is a fine needle cord, but it does still have enough structure to hold the shape of the skirt. And this is what the finished skirt looks like. So really simple button down skirt. And again, I think this is going to go with quite a lot of things that I've got in my wardrobe. Love the pockets. They're a similar style to the Camden skirt. And then these pockets are fully lined. And I just used a remnant piece of a Liberty fabric that I had in my stash. It's got rockets all over it. It's really cute, and lightning bolts. Can I find a lightning bolt? Yes, there. And I used that fabric to make a shirt for my husband. So it just really made me smile when I was able to use the scrap fabric, because it sort of matches my husband's shirt, even though you won't see it. So if I stand up, I'll hold it up against me, but I will put pictures in of me wearing this skirt so you can see what it looks like. But yeah, up to my waist. And then again, it's a similar length to the Camden skirt, if not just a tiny bit shorter, and it stops just above my knees. And then it's got the pockets that are sewn onto the hip, just there. And then you catch them in the side seam and the waistband as well. The waistband, you've obviously got the waistband on the inside as well. And then it's just got the jeans buttons from the top all the way down to the bottom. So I've had that cut out ready to sew for over a year, or maybe just about a year. So I'm really pleased that I've managed to get that sewn up this week. And I really do think that that, again, is going to be a great addition to my autumn wardrobe. I'm not sure if I would wear it to work, because I'm constantly on the floor bending down and that sort of thing. But it'll be a really cute thing to wear when I go out for dinner or when I go out with my family. And I just love that fabric. I think it's really, really fun and super cute. So that's everything that I've been sewing up this week. I think I've told you everything about the bobby pinafore and skirt, but that's what it looks like as the pinafore, and then that's what it looks like as the skirt. So what I decided to do with the skirt, looking at the model at the front, they've got patch pockets on, but I decided to keep with the hip pockets, and I much prefer that. I feel like they're a little bit more secure on the front of the skirt, and I really like that style of pockets on a little mini skirt too. So that's all of the things that I've got sewn up this week. The bobby skirt was already cut out. Had already cut out the sagebrush, and the Camden skirt I'd already finished, almost finished, not already finished. The Camden skirt just needed the zip and the waistband finishing, so that was almost finished. And the sagebrush is quite a straightforward pattern that only takes a couple of hours to sew up. And the fiddly bit of the sagebrush is the neckband because of the bias binding, but I quite enjoy doing that. I find it quite a relaxing, therapeutic thing to do. So I've got some fabric to share with you next. I've got 4 fabrics that I got from Rainbow Fabrics in their sale. They had a massive summer sale where they had up to 80% off some of their fabrics. So I'll put a link down below to the fabrics if they're still in stock. Otherwise it'll just be their website. But they've always got fantastic prices for their fabrics. They're always really reasonable, and they're always having some kind of sale over there too. So I'll link them down below so you can go and check them out. I've got my little delivery note just so I can get the names of the fabrics correct. So let's start with this one. So this is called Dark Green Floral Viscose Jacquard. So it's got a slight texture to it. It's an absolutely beautiful shade of green. Now green's my favourite colour. And then it's got these bright orange flowers all over it. So this is what it looks like. And you can just about see that sort of imprint from the jacquard. So it gives it a little bit of texture. I'm not sure the green's coming up properly. If I hold it back there, you can see it's almost like a forest green with these gorgeous orange flowers all over it. I've got 2 meters of every fabric within this little parcel of fabrics. This is quite a wide fabric. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to turn it into yet, but I just fell in love with the colours because I love green. And it just really, to me, feels like an autumnal fabric. So I'm really looking forward to turning it into something for my autumn wardrobe. It's got such a gorgeous amount of drape and movement as well. It feels really silky. So if you've got any ideas of what I can turn this into, because that drape is absolutely beautiful, do let me know. I've just got the Anna Allen Anthea blouse and dress pattern. I'll put line drawings in so you can see what it looks like. This would work really nicely as either just the blouse, or I might have enough to make the dress. I think that would look really gorgeous in this. Again, with some dark woolly tights and just ankle boots. I think that'd be a really cute outfit for the autumn, and also for the winter if I popped on a long sleeve top underneath. So that's the first one. So then the next one, this really reminded me of Remembrance Day, which is something that we do celebrate when we're at school and we talk to the children about it. It's got poppies all in it. This is called Red Black Poppy Eco Vero Viscose Maracane. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, but it's got these gorgeous red poppies all over it and on a black base, which is unusual for me. These two fabrics are quite dark for me, which is very unusual. This is going to become a pair of wide leg trousers, whether it's my favourite Nina Lee Portobello trousers, or I might use the Anna Allen Pomono pants because I really love that pattern too. But I want to turn it into a really lovely wide-legged pair of trousers that I can pair with either a red, a green or a black top. And then I can wear that to school when we're thinking about Remembrance Day and learning all about that day with the children. Just love the sort of brightness of those red poppies against that black background with the green leaves. And again, it's got a really gorgeous drape to it. Really beautiful. It's quite lightweight, so maybe trousers wouldn't be the best thing actually. I'm just thinking about how lightweight that is. So it could end up becoming a dress of some sort, but I'm not entirely sure what pattern yet. And then the next fabric is in my favourite colour, which is green. So I'm going to hold that up. And I have got a similar fabric to this in my stash already. But this is called Green Leopard Viscose Challis. So it's quite a lightweight fabric. It's got a gorgeous drape to it again. And this is going to become some kind of dress. Probably the Tilly and the Buttons Lotta dress, because I just absolutely love that dress. I love the shape of the skirt and it's really comfortable to wear. And I could layer this up again with a top underneath and just some thick woolly tights. But I just love that shade of green. It's absolutely gorgeous. And it moves really nicely too. So some kind of dress, not entirely sure which one yet, but probably the Tilly and the Buttons Lotta, because I know that that's a dress that's really comfortable on me. And I know that that works for my school wardrobe too. But yeah, I love that colour. Green, it just makes me so happy. Absolutely beautiful. And then I've got one more fabric to show you, and this is definitely autumnal sort of vibes to it. So it's sort of like, what do they describe? Oh, pumpkin. They describe it as a pumpkin colour, and it's called Pumpkin Irregular Polyviscose Maracane. I don't know if I'm saying it correctly. M-O-R-O-C-A-I-N. I'm not sure if I'm saying that correctly, but I love the colour of this. This definitely is autumnal vibes. And again, this is going to become either some trousers, some wide leg trousers. Let's see how sort of lightweight it is actually. This feels slightly heavier. I mean, not like heavy like a twill, but it definitely feels like it's not quite so lightweight as the other fabrics. I think maybe a dress actually. Holding that up against myself, that definitely needs to be a dress. Not sure what dress yet. If my first version of the Anthea, the Anna Allen Anthea blouse and dress works out, so I'm going to try the dress version, then this could potentially become that, because I love the, again, that's got really poofy sleeves, and then it's got a little belt, I think, from memory. I'll put line drawings in so you can see what it looks like, but that could become a really lovely floaty dress that could be layered up too. Just love that colour. It's so beautiful and autumnal, and autumn is definitely my favourite season of the year. So I'm really looking forward to sewing up some things for my autumn wardrobe. So those are all of the fabrics that I wanted to share with you, and they are all from Rainbow Fabrics, all quite similar in terms of the feel and the drapiness of the fabrics too, and a few sort of mixed plans for all of those fabrics, no firm plans yet. If you've got any suggestions for me, I love to hear your ideas and thoughts on things, so do let me know in the comments below if you've got any suggestions. Thank you so much already. So the next thing I wanted to share with you is a new pattern release from True Bias. They've just brought out a really beautiful shorts and pants pattern, and it's called the Danny Shorts and Pants, and it comes in their extended size range. So there's two size bandings. You've got 0 to 18 and then you've got 14 to 32, which is great. So in terms of sizes, I've got all the notes written down because I don't actually have the physical pattern to hand, but I'll put line drawings in when I'm talking about the different versions as well, so you can see what it looks like. So for a size 0, it's a chest measurement of 32 inches, waist measurement of 26 inches and a hip measurement of 34 inches. And then for a size 32, it's a chest measurement 59.5 inches, a waist measurement 52.5 inches, and then a hip measurement of 61.5 inches. So it's an elasticated waist shorts and pants with inseam and rear pockets and a small paper bag waist and cuff. There are four different views. So view A and view C are shorts and view B and D are trousers. For view A and B, it's got a zip fly construction with 2 small buttons at the waist, and that's aimed at intermediate sewists. And then you've got view C and D. They are pull-on shorts or trousers, full elasticated waist, and they're aimed at beginners. In terms of fabric recommendations, they recommend light to medium weight woven fabrics like a linen, a rayon, a cotton or a twill. And I've seen some absolutely gorgeous versions already over on Instagram, and I just absolutely fell in love with them. I think I fell in love with them because you've got different variations. I've talked before about really enjoying wearing something that's got an elasticated waist. And what I really like about this pattern is you've got the option to have the elasticated waist to in the back of the trousers and shorts, but then you've got that zip fly construction at the front. So it just looks really lovely, really beautiful finish too. And I like that you can sew it up in lots of different fabrics as well. They just look really cute. And then that tiny little paper bag waist. It's not like a full-on paper bag waist, but ever so slight nod to that style of trouser. And I just think it looks really cool and like a really great shorts and trouser pattern that would be really comfortable. So I'm definitely looking forward to sewing up a few pairs of those for my autumn winter wardrobe. I think they'll look really cute. And the next pattern / patterns that I wanted to talk about is a new ebook that's been released from Sew It. So they've got quite a few ebooks that they've released over the last few years, but the latest one is aimed at beginners, and it's called the Sew It Beginner's Guide to Sewing ebook. It's £15, and within that you get 6 patterns. But then what I also really like is you get access to some video tutorials over on their Stitch School, which is their sewing platform where they share videos and tutorials and things. So there's 20 free online sewing classes via the Stitch School as part of the ebook. So as it says in the title, it's an ebook that's aimed at beginner sewists. But I mean, I would class myself as an intermediate sewist. I've got quite a lot of skills under my belt. I feel quite confident sewing quite a range of garments, but I still like the look of some of the patterns that they've got in this ebook. So you get 6 patterns included. You get an envelope cushion pattern, you get a drawstring bag pattern, a tote bag pattern, a toiletries bag pattern where you are taught how to insert a zip, and then there's a wrap skirt, and then there's also some pyjamas. So the sort of patterns range in skill required, but they also teach you a new skill within each project, which I really like the idea of that. I think it's the perfect thing if you really want to get into sewing but you don't know where to start. There's full detailed clear instructions for all of the patterns with images as well as clear written instructions. And what I also really love about this book is it's size inclusive. So it ranges from a size 6 to a 30, so UK 6 to 30. So that's mainly for the wrap skirt and the pyjamas. So in terms of their sizes for a UK 6, it's a bust measurement of 31 inches, a waist measurement of 24 inches, and then a hip measurement of 34 inches. And then for a size 30, it's a bust measurement of 57 inches, a waist measurement of 50 inches, and then a hip measurement of 60 inches. In terms of fabrics required for all of these projects, they recommend some cotton fabrics, so like a cotton poplin or a cotton lawn, and because they're quite stable fabrics that really behave themselves, and they're aimed at beginners. The ebook aims to teach you how to thread your machine, what technical terms mean, it's fully illustrated, and there's really detailed instructions too. I just really like the idea of the ebook being aimed at beginners, because I remember when I was first learning to sew, I didn't have a clue where to start to begin with. And I bought the Tilly and the Buttons Love at First Stitch book. And that, I can't remember, I think that was like £25 or something, but this is quite reasonable at £15, and you get 6 patterns included too. So I just thought I'd let you know about it. I'm actually quite tempted to get it for myself because I really like the idea of some of those patterns that you've got in there, and the wrap skirt pattern looks really lovely too. So I thought it was a great idea actually from Sew It, so I thought I'd let you know about that. So the next thing I wanted to share with you was a new vlogger, and it's the lovely Elisa. She's over on Instagram and YouTube as Threads or Tails. Now, she did have a vlog up until a few years ago, and then she stopped vlogging, but she has recently got back into dressmaking, and she's feeling really enthusiastic and quite passionate about it again and quite inspired. So she started up vlogging. I've listened to a couple of her videos, and she's really lovely to listen to. She's got lots of lovely ideas, and she's also taking part in the Friday Sews videos that come out every Friday. And there's loads of vloggers that take part in the Friday Sews. It's something that I toyed with the idea of being part of, but I'm just not organised enough to get a Friday video out each week. I just about cope with getting my Sunday videos out each week. But I just sort of let you know about Elisa because she has started doing vlogging again, and there are 5 videos that you can go and watch. I love having new vloggers where you can go and sort of watch all of their videos that have been brought out, like binge watch their videos. And yeah, I've been really enjoying her content, so thank you so much, Elisa. It's nice to see you back vlogging. So next week's plans, I've written down a few ideas of what I'd like to get sewn up, but I need to be realistic with myself because we have gone back to school. I've been doing, because I work in the early years, we've been doing all the setup and home visits and that sort of thing and meeting the children. Next week they actually start, and I'm really excited about the children start. They start on Monday, and I can't wait to have a classroom full of children again. But I know how utterly exhausting it is the first week of all the training and the routines and getting to know everybody, remembering names, and just the constant like being on my feet again and having 30 little voices that want to know everything about the world and just supporting them. So I know that I'm going to feel exhausted next week, so I need to be really realistic with myself. So the first thing I'm definitely going to get sewn up is some knickers. So I have cut out the Acacia knicker pattern by Megan Nielsen, which I mentioned in my last Sunday sewing catch up. It's a free pattern that you download if you subscribe to their newsletter, and I've got tons of jersey scraps that I'm going to share with you now. But that is definitely going to be something that I get sewn up this week, because I think it'll be quite a quick make. I think it'll be quite satisfying sewing that across the week. So I'm just going to grab the scraps. So I've got a whole pile of scrap fabric. So I've got some dotty cotton, green cotton, and then I've got some stripy cotton, and then I've got some of this gorgeous floral cotton jersey that I got from, all of that's cotton jersey. I think I said cotton, but I mean cotton jersey. This is from Felicity Fabrics. So I've got loads of offcuts that are big enough for me to sew up into knickers. So I'm definitely going to sew up the Acacia knicker pattern. I'll put line drawings in of what that looks like. And then I am also going to cut out and hopefully start. I really want to sew up a black pair of Yanta overalls, because I've got loads of t-shirts, blouses and jumpers that I know would go really well with a plain black pair of Yanta overalls. So I've got the corduroy here. It's just black, so it's probably not going to show up very well. And I've got the pattern to show you too, just in case you don't know it, although I'm sure that you do. So this is the corduroy fabric, and I got this as a present at Christmas. We do like a family Secret Santa, and I put this down. This is from Sister Mintucker. It's absolutely gorgeous quality corduroy. So I'm really excited about getting that sewn up because I've had that since Christmas. So it's going to go in the wash. And I'm going to use the corduroy to sew up a pair of Yanta overalls, and I'm going to do this version, so the full length version with the patch pockets and then the bib pocket. I've already got a pair of them made in this leopard print corduroy that I got from Hey Sew Sister, and I love wearing them. They're so comfortable and they're perfect for when the weather's just a little bit chilly. So this is a intermediate pattern by Helen's Closet, and it comes in sizes 0 to 30. I love the instructions. They really hold your hand. You've got really clear images and then step-by-step detailed instructions. Helen's Closet patterns are just brilliant if you haven't come across them. I absolutely love what they tend to do is they've got little sort of top tips or little snippets that share what certain vocabulary means or what certain techniques are. Like this is about edge stitching and what that actually entails. So here are the line drawings. So you can do a full overalls or you can do shorts. So I'm going to do the overalls because it's going to be for my autumn winter wardrobe. And the Yanta overalls are a laid back artist style overall with a comfortable fit through the waist, hips and legs. The overalls have classic features like a V-shaped back and a pointed chest pocket. So that's the V-shaped back and then the pointed chest pocket. and the Yanta straps are secured using buttons, although I hacked it and used dungaree clips for my Yanta overalls, and I'll probably do the same with this version. I just find that more comfortable. Make your Yantas cropped pants or summery shorts. Both views have front and back patch pockets. They're comfortable, modern and fun to sew, and they really are. And in terms of fabric recommendations, they recommend medium to heavyweight woven fabrics like a cotton twill, denim up to 10 ounces, linen, corduroy and canvas. Crisp, lightweight fabrics like a cotton and lightweight linen can also be used for the warmer weather. I use more drapey fabrics like a tencel twill, wool crepe or linen viscose slub if you want to experiment with a softer, less structured look. So in terms of sizes, for a size 0, it's a high bust measurement of 29 inches, full bust 31 inches, waist measurement 24 inches and then hip measurement 33 inches. And then for a 30, it's a 54-inch high bust, 56-inch full bust, 48-inch waist and a 58-inch hip measurement. And they've been drafted for someone that's 5'6" with a B-cup bust. So I'm really looking forward to getting those started, if not finished. Although to be honest, realistically I think I'll probably get knickers sewn up and that's about it, but we'll see, because I may have time. I know the other reason why I think I'm not going to really get much sewn up next week is because at the weekend we've got another market. So I take part in a market in Isleworth. I'll put a flyer in so you can see. It's a wonderful thing to be part of. It's a community market. We've got greengrocers, a baker's, there's always hot food, there's a florist, there's always, I think there's someone that sells honey, there's soaps, there's a whole range of people that sell at the market, and it's just a really fun thing to be part of. So that's what I'm going to be busy doing. I'll be busy baking next Friday, and then Saturday's the market day, so I probably won't realistically get a huge amount of sewing done between the children starting and that going on. So next Sunday I'll probably just have some knickers to share with you, so hopefully that's okay. Oh no, I'll be able to talk about the blog make that I've made, because that blog will have gone live, so I may have 2 things to share with you. But yes, I'm going to make some black corduroy Yanta overalls, so maybe I'll just get them cut out this week because I haven't started yet. So that's everything that I wanted to share with you today. I really hope that you enjoyed hearing all of those different things. Do go and check out all the things that I've shared, and also go and give Elisa a follow over on her YouTube channel. I will be back soon with another video. If you haven't hit the subscribe button, please do. I'm eking ever so closely towards 5,000 subscribers, which is so exciting. And thank you so much if you keep coming back to watch my videos. I'll be back soon with another video. Take care. Bye.